Well, I'm on my way home from the Meadows. Yes, that's right. On my birthday, I woke up in Ohio, and I'm going to tell you, it was actually a nice day at the Meadows. The wind wasn't too much. It wasn't super cold. It's 36 at 4 o'clock, so it feels like it's warmer than that, though, because it was sunny all day. Maybe last night the wind was so cold, and I thought it was bad, but it was only trumped by this morning in Ohio. Get up this morning, I had it in my mind, I wanted to train Dustin Hanover 2 trips. I wanted to train Hone the Tone 2 trips. I wanted to see Silent Assassin train, and I wanted to go with all the babies. I talked to Jason the other day. I said, anybody that's giving you any issues, I want to go with them today. Which was only 6, to be honest. And of the 6, most did their job right. A couple of them, I think, they're just going to take a little time. Little side note, we talked about the green shoes at the sale, and people are saying they were hard to break. They are hard to break. They're not bad. Little stubborn. I talked to another trainer, Vernon Beachy, about his green shoe, and I said, I got like 4 that are wearing trotting hobbles, but it's not because they got ugly gaits. They just cantered. And he goes, yeah. He said, mine cantered for 2 weeks. He said, I didn't put heavy shoes on it to get it to trot. And I said, I put some weight on, but I just went to the trotting hobbles. And he said, now it's the sweetest horse in the world. I said, yes, ours are the same way. The reason I say that, Goldbug Hanover, first time I ever saw her on the track was today. You could see she was trying to trot, but then would get frustrated, much like Flashfly would, or Insider Trading would. Or, oddly enough, I was trying to think of the horse that had the hobbles on. It's a green shoe also, the Emeralds filly. So, yeah, they just get a little stubborn, a little angry, a little frustrated, and they break. They just gallop, and then they get angry. Not mean, not dangerous, just a little angry. So, I see it now, but we've never had a problem with them. So what? Put the trot novels on them. They trot great. They'll probably won't need them at some point down the road. But for now, I have no problem with that. Put them on Goldbug today. You can see she was struggling the same way that Insider Trading was. So we put them on her. You know, it's always best if once in a while you'll put them on and they'll catch right away. It's like they love them. They needed them. They're happy with them on, and they can use them properly. Then you get the other ones that want to fight against them all the time, and that's kind of how Goldbug was today. So I don't know how Goldbug will be on Saturday. I'm working on your set list for the drone. I have the Ontario list ready right now. Obviously, there's a couple of names missing, notably Punch the Clock. Huge update on Punch the Clock. I spoke to the surgeon today, and we've had 2 days, just so I can set the table for everybody, in case you weren't up to date, or you missed a couple of videos, or you didn't know what was going on. I was in extreme, as I said before, extreme distress over this filly. It was really, really killing me, what was going on with her. And she almost died on Sunday. And not only did she almost die, the chance of her living was very slim from the surgeons I talked to. But she's a fighter. I'm going to tell you what, she's going to be a nice filly on the track, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. She fought hard, and now over the last 3 days, a little bit better, and now today I talked to the surgeon. She said her heart rate is down perfect. Her blood chemistry looks good. So obviously I had some follow-up questions because I knew I would be asked them by our clients. One, what happened? And I was so shocked. Because doctors are professionals, nobody wants to say, I don't know. Very rarely you'll see a vet say, I don't know. Sometimes, but not often. And that's not a dig on vets, but that's just, they're analytical people. They're trying to figure it out, and I would have thought that it's when we deal with Mike or even Angelica, people that can say, I like talking to them because there's a certain point where it's just not worth trying to get to the bottom of it anymore. And those words, I don't know, are available but rarely used. And I heard the surgeon on the other end of that, and she goes, honestly, Anthony, I don't know. I said, wow. Well, I guess the next question I have is, then she tried to say it could be this. She goes, but we've talked about this. I don't know why it started with the small colon. I can't get to the bottom of it. So my next question obviously was, they were worried that the small colon was injured to the point it was necrotic, it was dying, in which case the filly would die. That was the hypothesis from Sunday into Monday. Now, less and less edema over the last 2 days. She goes, no, I am confident in saying it is not necrotic. That is a huge relief. And I can, again, I'm trying to articulate and explain it well enough to you. I'm trying to give it to you how I got it. The vet is comfortable in saying there was an injury and damage done to the small colon, but it will recover fully. Very important. Because the hypothesis of this is that all that took place with this filly, and she had to be operated on twice, all that happened with this filly started in a place it shouldn't have. She believes everything came from the small colon. That is why the large colon had a twist, a little flip. They had to go in and fix it. It reflipped again. The hypothesis at that point was it's flipping because there's gas buildup because the small colon is dying and not working properly. But that didn't turn out to be the fact at all. So she said, I don't know what caused it. I said, well, I'd be remiss if I didn't say what's to stop it from happening again. She goes, that's a great question. She goes, I will tell you this, historically speaking, very rarely horses leave here and we can't tell you why they call it. And the ones that do leave and we can't tell you why because we don't know, we very rarely ever see them again in the university. She goes, there are certain things that you have to take and test it out, or there's a real problem, you can see why it happened. This filly seems to be healthy, but something happened in that small colon which caused all this, which was almost catastrophic, except she's better now. Small colon is working properly, or on its way to working perfectly. The large colon doesn't have any residual effect in it, and it will be fine. She goes, everything in between is working fine. Her heart rate is down. There isn't anything in her blood that leads us to believe her white count or there's bacteria, even though she could have died from the colic. Then, because of a second surgery, she could have died from that. This filly's a fighter. So she's believing, Dr. Lack is of the belief the small colon will heal, will recover. The large colon will recover. The filly will recover. The fact that she doesn't know what's wrong and she believes it started in a place it shouldn't start leads her to believe it isn't something that could or likely would reoccur, which is a huge, huge weight off my shoulders. I was trying to get an answer that I could sink my teeth into that made me feel comfortable, because all is awesome if she comes back but now she has this digestive issue and she could colic again. You know what happens. It would be before a stake race. She'd be on a roll. She'd do something great, and then all of a sudden she died. The surgeon is of the belief that this filly could, now she's not out of the woods yet. We're only 3 days into recovery. Bacteria, infection, anything could pop up. But as of right now, she took a huge step forward today, and this is the third day of forward progression. So a huge update from Punch the Clock. I literally was heartbroken 3 days ago of this filly, and you couldn't have given me a better birthday present than this. So super, super happy with what I was told this afternoon in regards to that filly. Now, the babies that went today, I told you in an earlier video, had our first official training mile of the day with one horse, Irresistible Sun. They said he was acting up and not doing his work right. I put him through the paces today, and he did his work very, very well. A number of the horses look like they're ready to go, some that aren't. So I'm going to pour over the list again tonight when I get home. I'll have a final list for you. Ontario is concluded. I'll have that for you tonight also, but I will finish up Ohio's for Saturday also. It's a little trickier because we're trying to find drivers for the horses in Ohio. Are we going to have 6 horse sets, 5 horse sets? I don't know yet, but we're going to get to the bottom of that also. Why is this line moving so slow? Dustin Hanover trained great this morning. Hole in the Tone trained fantastic this morning also. Super happy with them. And then came over here to the Meadows and raced Arches Rainbow. She wasn't super. We used super a lot today. She wasn't super, but she was good. She got the job done, and that's all that matters. She could have been very mediocre and been third. Instead, she got up to win at the wire. So good for her for doing that. And then stay close. right line still. As I was leaving, I asked the veterinarian, Tim's vet was there. I said, could you put the hoof testers on that horse and scope Arches Rainbow? I want to make sure we stay on top of that pallet with her. Could you scope Arches Rainbow and look over, stay close, and see what you think, and then maybe shoot me a text if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate it. So I don't think there's anything serious with either of them. Arches Rainbow looks like she's a big, lanky filly. Is she going to get better? Yeah, probably. And then when it comes to Stay Close horse, finished up strong, race good. Turns, right? Used to trot the turns great, struggle in the straightaways. This is a different horse. This is not the Stay Close from before. This is a better horse. It's not the same Stay Close. We need to rethink everything we thought about him before. You know, James has said, I can't trot the straightaways. You need that line pull on the outside. No, not the case anymore. He's trotting good. He's trotting better. Hobbles were actually too tight today. They need to go out a little bit. On the right line still, we took the head pull of Murphy off the outside. That's why he was running in the qualifier. Still running in. Is there a bruise in his foot? Is he have a corner crack coming? Pus pocket, something coming. Didn't seem lame to me, but did bite that line from time to time. So something we have to work on there. So Stay Close. Probably race him once more here. I do have an idea, though. We're going to bring Red Overbach here next Thursday. Important, because the class only goes for 7,500. He fits it by a hair, and then hopefully he can win it, and then go back to Ontario and race in that class. Horses that race for a purse of less than $9,000 in their last 5. Good spot for him to be. So plan for Red Overbach, plan for Stay Close. We'll race him there once more, and then we'll bring him back at some point into Ontario. Arches Rainbow can stay here. We'll probably race her. If she doesn't look like she's going to start trotting in 57, 58, then we'll move her. But she has all the tools to do it. Nothing saying she can't. So a great birthday for me. I got to see some of the babies today. Got to go the first training mile with anybody this year. It was with Irresistible Son. Got to see Dustin. I love this horse. I really like him a lot. So I can't wait to see him start racing. He has matured exactly how we wanted him to. Happy with Hone the Tone. He said, I don't think he's going to need the trotting hobbles. We're going to qualify him in a couple weeks at Northfield without trotting hobbles. I'm telling you right now. He was very, very good this morning, too. Babies were good. Racehorses were good. Sound Assassin looked fine on the track. And then 2 good miles here at the Meadows. Got a win on my birthday. Broke the maiden with Arches Rainbow. And a good second with Stay Close. So all is well. And then, of course, the biggest cherry on top was Punch the Clock. So a good day. December 1st. Mark it on your calendars. It's a good day so far on planet Earth for us. Take care.